Hello, YouTube. We're going to be talking about Jeff Bezos stepping down from the throne of Amazon. Also talking about the union stuff that's going on in one of their warehouses. Let's start talking about, but before we get into that, I would appreciate if you could like and subscribe to my channel and to this video. It would really help me out a lot. Also, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/funwithfondue. If you want to support me monetarily, check me out there. Okay, let's get started then, shall we? Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos will leave his post later this year, turning the helm over to the company's top cloud executive, Andy Jassy. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. According to an announcement Tuesday, Bezos will transition to executive chairman of Amazon's board. So Jeff Bezos ain't leaving Amazon, but he is stepping down from the biggest position of power at Amazon. So cool. Bezos, 57. Is he 57? Damn. 57. Founded Amazon in 1994 and has since morphed the one-time online bookstore into a mega retailer with global reach in a slew of different categories, from gadgets to groceries to streaming. Also, his company is known for not letting employees go on bathroom breaks, and they have to pee in bottles in the warehouses because they don't have time to go on breaks. Yup. Oh my god, Amazon surpassed a $1 trillion market cap under Bezos' leadership in January of last year. It's now worth more than $1.6 trillion. A lot of dollars. Yeah, so the new CEO will step in the third quarter, so August, September, October, somewhere there. I am excited to announce that this Q3, I'll transition to the executive chair of the Amazon board, and Andy Jassy will become CEO, Bezos said in a letter to employees. In the exec chair role, I intend to focus my energies and attention on new products and early initiatives. Andy is well known inside the company and has been at Amazon almost as long as I have. He will be an outstanding leader, and he has my full confidence. But anyway, Jeff Bezos is stepping down. There was an interesting thing I saw about Andy Jassy and his statement about police using face recognition stuff. Yeah, Amazon sells facial recognition software to police all over the US, but has no idea how many departments are using it. This is really bad. This is really, really bad. Yeah, in an interview with Amazon Web Services CEO Andy Jassy, he reveals how little insight Amazon has into its tech, how its tech is used. The company isn't aware of how many police departments are using their software, let alone how it's being used, which is really, really dangerous. Like, how the police use facial recognition software is very, very important. Like, we need to know how it's being used. Like, police have a unique position of power in our society. They can do things that regular people cannot do. And as such, they need to be held to a higher standard. And giving them facial recognition software without any oversight from, anywhere on how it's used is really, really dangerous, and I don't like it. I don't think we know the total number of police departments that are using Amazon's facial recognition technology, Jassy told PBS Frontline. We have 165 services in our technology infrastructure platform, and you can use them in any combination you want. I understand that they have like a huge swath of services that can be used in a lot of different ways, but I think something like facial recognition is something that they have to put in some like special protections, to make sure that it's being used in a proper ethical way. But of course, that's not their motive. Their motive is to make money. So they don't care about that stuff. They don't care if it gets misused. And if it does, they're like, oh, oops, we don't condone this, but our service is being used by many different people for many different things. They're going to give some roundabout thing to avoid any responsibility, and it's really sad. If we find we have customers, regardless of who they are, who are misusing the technology and violating people's civil liberties and violating the law, and have documented proof of that, we will suspend their ability to use our platform. But that's kind of the problem, that they're like waiting until the point. Like, they should be proactive, not just reactive. Like, he also said that Amazon has pushed for federal regulation of facial recognition software. I think that's a good idea, yes. A statement echoed in Amazon's Our Positions letter. We think that the governments should act to regulate the use of this technology to ensure it's used appropriately, and we have proposed guidelines for an appropriate U.S. national legislative framework that protects individual civil rights and ensures that the governments are transparent in their application of the technology. While I do agree that, yes, the U.S. government should regulate how facial recognition software is used and how it can be transparent and protect the privacy of individuals, I think that's very important. We're not there at the moment, but I say we, I mean like everywhere, because I don't live in the U.S. Like the U.S. is not at the point where they have legislation around that, and it will probably be many years until that happens, because it takes time to do that stuff. So Andy Jassy saying this while not giving anything to say, like, but in the meantime, we will do XYZ, feels like he's deferring responsibility away from the company, saying the government should do something, but we're not going to do anything because it's not our responsibility on how the police use facial recognition software that we provide for them. Now, if someone comes to us and can prove that it's being used wrongfully, we'll stop giving it to them, of course. But in the meantime, you know, it's not our responsibility. The government should do something like that. That's how it feels, where they should say, the government should do something, and we've told the government, in the meantime, we're going to do these things to make sure that your privacy is protected. But that's not what they're doing. And it sucks. Yeah, here. As Frontline's interviewer James Jacoby points out, without government oversight, Amazon is the sole arbiter of oversight into police use of the facial recognition technology it sells. Exactly. Exactly. That is the point. That is the point. Amazon workers are unionizing, which is really, really good. So let's see what's going on.
Alabama warehouse, mostly black. The workers in this Alabama warehouse, mostly black, mostly women, are on the verge of making history. Starting on February 8th, they will vote to decide whether to form the very first Amazon union in the United States. In doing so, they're taking on the world's richest man, who's been trying to stop unions for 25 years.
We don't believe that we need a union to be an intermediary between us and our employees.
That is a ridiculous statement. That is such a ridiculous, like, oh, we can just talk. Come on, man. It's not gonna be that way. It's a ridiculous statement, because when like the CEO of Amazon says that, what he's basically saying is, like, we can just divide and conquer people, because it's a lot easier for a company. To break people into small groups and talk to them separately to basically minimize any leverage that they might have. But if workers collectively come together and say, we demand these things, otherwise we're not working, that is way more effective. And of course, Jeff Bezos doesn't want that. He doesn't want to give anything to the workers that they don't already have. He doesn't want to give a single fucking penny more to the workers if he's not forced to do that. He will never want to do that. He would never improve the situation there for them. Why would he? He has no interest in that. He just wants to make money. So why would he improve that situation? There's nothing in it for him, so fuck it, right? So, and the unions are in such a sad state in the United States. Like, they've been gutted. The unions have been, like, absolutely gutted, and their power taken away since, like, the Reagan era. And the situation is now what it is, and that's the reason. One of the reasons why the minimum wage hasn't risen in like 15 years, because there's no unions to push for that, you know? So this is really, really good. It's always black women doing the best. We're willing to support them way more. Yep, black women push for a lot of change, and it's fucking awesome. Black women do so much legwork for us all. They absolutely do. And women in general. And I would say marginalized people do the most of this legwork.
We're here on the ground in Bessemer, Alabama, to put a spotlight on these working people.
Hell yeah.
They say conditions inside are like a sweatshop with grueling workload demands.
We're not treated as human beings. We're not even treated as robots. We're treated as part of the data stream.
They say Amazon uses cameras and surveillance to track their movements and productivity.
This is so sick. Cameras to track people's productivity? Like, this is gross. Like, it is a literal sweatshop.
By the second. Amazon workers say they were forced to work despite having COVID symptoms. Over 20,000 Amazon workers have tested positive, and Alabama had one of the company's highest infection rates. With the union election coming up, Amazon is now trying to bar them from voting by mail during a pandemic. Even CNBC can't believe it.
Because Amazon is pushing for this union vote to happen in person instead of by mail-in ballot. Think about that. Like, part of the whole reason why Amazon is so popular this year is because people want to do things distanced and by mail. The union wants that same thing for this vote, and Amazon does not.
The pandemic has been a boon for Amazon. Their stock price was up 70% in 2020. Jeff Bezos' wealth increased by $90 billion. And that's thanks to frontline Amazon workers in warehouses like this, in one of the poorest towns in Alabama, where workers haven't gotten hazard pay since June.
Cool.
The union organizers here have emphasized that workers' rights are civil rights. They see themselves as part of the movement fighting for the worth and value of Black lives. And victory here could reshape the future for hundreds of thousands of American workers. Analysts say they'd expect to see similar campaigns at Amazon's 800+ other U.S. facilities.
I hope
As the
spreads.
campaign heats up, we'll be here to take your questions and keep you informed about what's going on. Stay tuned for more soon.
Fucking awesome. This is so good. This is really, really, really good. Like, they're being treated like not even robots. They're being surveilled. It's like there's surveillance that they're working hard enough. No hazard pay, being forced into work even though there's a pandemic. And Amazon is trying to make the union thing not happen because, of course, Amazon is afraid that if this union happens and it proves to be successful, that it will spread to the other Amazon warehouses, which it absolutely should. Don't get me wrong. Like, this should spread all across Amazon and like all industries. This should spread the demanding of better conditions to work in, because Amazon is just exploiting these people, and Jeff Bezos gets an insane amount of money, such insane greed and avarice, and it's just stealing off the back of people. To wrap this up, Jeff Bezos is going away from Amazon's CEO position. He's not leaving Amazon, but that doesn't mean that Amazon will fundamentally change as a company. Most likely it won't. The new CEO seems to be in same sort of capitalist mindset as Jeff Bezos is, so it is great to see that the workers are fighting back, that they're forming unions, because without the workers, those warehouses don't work. If they stop working, no shipments will get put out, and that puts pressure on Amazon. So there is a chance for real change now, and I hope that happens. All right. So hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down there. Also, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Central European Time on twitch.tv/funwithfondue. And lastly, if you want to support me on patreon.com/funwithfondue, that would be also super, super PogChamp. Of course, it's fully optional, no pressure. And hey, have a lovely rest of the day, all right? Goodbye.